I finally found out a little bit of information. I've been Wikipedian. I guess that's Wikipedian.
It's a word now.
Wikipedian. The new Star Trek movie.
Uh-huh.
And I did find out a couple of things that I thought was rather interesting. In the last episode, I kind of got on JJ a little bit about busting canon, you know, and stuff like that. And I still found, even on this new one, I still found more canon busting stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of it.
But I will say this. After reading some of the stuff that he quoted, I don't have a problem with some of the canon busting stuff that he's doing. Here's one that I have no problem with. In the new show, the preview scenes of the new trailer, we see the Enterprise being built on the ground. Well, in canon, only the parts were built in the San Francisco shipyards, and then it was shipped up to orbit via some kind of a shuttle and assembled in orbit. And that's canon. Well, he said that was a nice thing, but he just thought it was kind of cool to have him drive up on this motorcycle and see this big, giant Enterprise being built on the ground, because you have references. You know, there's a building over here and there's people walking around over there. And those are the types of references that you couldn't have if you were in space, if you were showing it being built in space. You couldn't have those kind. You know, well, yeah, you could show a little guy in a spacesuit floating around, but you know, there's not any trees close by. There's not any other buildings close by.
There's no point of reference.
There's no point of reference, and so he wanted it to seem like that this was a really big deal, to where it's still San Francisco shipyards, but instead of it being assembled in space, it's assembled there. Okay, he busted canon. Do I care if it makes the show more interesting, if there's some scene where there's a nice...
So it was a visual thing for him.
Right. I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt, because he has gone through and has tried to meticulously not alter canon too much.
Right.
You know, and
that's good.
That's good. And I'm happy because he's got...
So did you get some mention on kind of dialogue and depth of stuff like that, or?
Yeah, there was just a few things here that, for example, in our last episode we talked about whether Captain Pike was going to be in there, and you said you didn't think so. Well, Bruce Greenwood is playing Christopher Pike.
Prepare to fire all weapons.
Who at the time is the captain of the Enterprise, supposedly when the show starts off. He's the first captain of the Enterprise.
So see, he's not busting canon.
He's not busting, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I...
So he only does it when it just makes a better story for him to go ahead and break canon.
Well, this is the balancing act that he's trying to do. Between the old, tried and true fan base and getting in some new folks, just the way you said, bringing in some new blood.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the level of sin. So I'm looking at JJ's level of sin as far as busting canon is concerned, maybe a 2, maybe a 3.
Well, that's pretty darn good.
That's good for me.
Yeah, because a little bit of research went a long way for you.
Right.
As far as the comfort level of what he was producing.
They're going to have a tribble.
Yeah.
It'll have a tribble in it. Hey.
Star Trek without a tribble.
You can't have Star Trek without a tribble.
True.
We didn't know the last time we talked, we didn't know who in the heck was this guy playing Kirk.
Yeah.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
Okay, we finally found out who Chris Pine is. Now, apparently, Chris Pine got this role through Zachary Quinto.
I don't know who Zachary Quinto is.
He plays Spock.
Oh.
See, Zachary Quinto, supposedly from what I read, he went and sought out this role. He liked the idea of this half-human, half-Vulcan heritage of this character, even to the point of adopting some of his Leonard Nimoy's personal mannerisms. Like, he will hold his hands behind his back the way Spock does. And the other one was stillness. Spock stood very still many times and he just kind of sat there and never, only thing that moved was his eyes. And he also tied his fingers to learn how to do the Vulcan salute.
So he was really going for the role.
He is taking this role very, very seriously, and he wants to become the next Spock. I mean, it's very obvious.
If it's done right, it's a 3 or 4 picture deal.
If it's done right, it's a career.
Yeah.
It's your life. What happened is that this Chris Pine was at the gym where Zachary Quinto goes and works out. Well, he kept encouraging Chris Pine to, you know, to go audition, and he finally went in and auditioned, and they liked him. That's how this Chris Pine came about. One of the things that Chris Pine said is that he did not want to bring William Shatner's type of speaking to Kirk, to his Kirk.
No.
That's not Captain Kirk. That's William Shatner.
Right.
You know, but now there are attributes of Captain Kirk that Shatner set out. Like some of them was his daring and dashing and being cool and taking risks and stuff like that. Those things that he does want to bring to the character, but he did not want to mock because he felt like that if he did that, it would just be, he would be doing a cheap imitation of William Shatner.
So apparently Zachary's a little bit of a fanboy of Star Trek, or
no, not really. He found out he liked Star Trek and he knew about Star Trek, but once he started exploring the character of Spock, he thought that was a fascinating. Well, most everybody knows the character Spock, but when he started delving into it a little bit more, he went, "Wow, this is." And the script was real good too.
So that's pretty cool that just a friend at the gym, but he recognized he was a good actor and had that rugged look that might work.
Right.
And managed to talk him into it.
Right.
That's a great deal.
I mean, I'd like to have a friend like that. Hey, bud, would you like to come play like a legendary character named James T. Kirk?
I might be able to get you a one-on-one with Jay.
Yeah, I might be able to get you in with Jay. I mean, what kind of buddy is that? That's what a great buddy to have.